I think the interesting thing, and I think it's not like people are. The two guard situation as we see it now, it seems like Herter will be the starter just because he has the best two-way situation right now. Um, Monk seems like he'll be the kind of scorer off the bench, and then Davis will be, with the lack of substantial depth on the wing, Davis and also just the mix of shooting guards will find ways to get in on the perimeter. Like guys will have minutes, but at one point, and very well could be that Herters just starts all 82 games, and barring injury, and is great for this team as the starting, and maybe they have the formula all figured out. But I almost want to go out. Now I don't want to say this is going to happen, but I just don't kind of in a similar way where it's like, well, Metu might be on the edge. I think something that should be mentioned is it's like I really wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season, Terence Davis is the starting shooting guard on this team. I think a lot of things would have to happen, i.e., he would have to be shooting around 40%. He's already a good three-point shooter, but he's below the expertise, if you will, of Herter and Monk, who are both about 40% shooters, 39 and 40. And, the only reason I say this is that if he's able to do that, if he's able to really kind of flourish, and he's also going into a contract year, keep in mind, if he can really go into, I think he's going into a contract year, I think he is, if he can generate confidence and get a flow going and play well and really show that he's right up there offensively with these other two guys, I think he has a chance to really be the best option. I mean, again, Herter, that's kind of, you got to take that from Herter at this point. You got a lot to prove, but we've mentioned this in the past. One of the things that gets overlooked about Terence Davis, aside from Terence Davis himself, is the fact that he has a 6'9" wingspan. He's only 6'5", I think, but he has a 6'9" wingspan. Advanced statistics have shown that he guards small forwards just as much as he guards shooting guards. You can use him in a lot of different ways. He can be an effective defender. He can be versatile. I just think, I guess I would bet on the fact that Terence Davis is going to be a big part of this team. And I guess I would say that, if he can figure out the offense and really become a shooter that is in the same league as Herter and Monk, which he's not right now. To be fair, he's in a high league, but it's not that league. Then at that point, if he's a better three-point shooter, or at least on par with them, then he's the better two-way player, in my opinion, and generates probably the best, production as a starter. But I don't know. I was just throwing it out there, But I don't know if you want to comment on that two-guard situation, because it's interesting. Again, it's not so much a battle, because it's just they're all going to get used, and they're all really good. But it's just, you can kind of go any number of ways thinking about it,
Yeah, Davis, I think he'll be that third shooting guard and he'll remain that third shooting guard. He has a lot of potential. I like Davis. But like you said, he's not a bad 3-point shooter, but he's not at Monk and Herter's level. And I don't know, consistency, really. It was his third year last year, missed most of the season. And he was doing well going into that injury, but I need to see a little bigger sample size. I don't know. Herter and Monk are very proven NBA players at this point.
Mm-hmm. They
And
were big acquisitions for a reason.
exactly. And Davis will have to do a lot to overshadow him. But that doesn't mean they won't play together. If Bazemore he's your backup small forward, had a very bad year on the Los Angeles last season. Herter can play the small forward. Davis, like you said, can guard the small forward. Maybe you'll see, a mixture of Herter and Davis on the floor together at the 3 and the 2, or Davis at the 3 with Monk at the 2, or something like that. So I can definitely see these shooting guards sharing the floor together, just because it seems like a couple of them can play the 2 and the 3. And Barnes doesn't have that backup, and Bazemore is just showing that he isn't progressing and that he's just the guy from LA last year, then I think we'll see a lot of Herter and Monk at the three. And I think
Mhm.
Davis, being that third shooting guard and being third on the depth chart at that position, he has stuff to prove. And if there's an open spot at that small forward position and he can guard the three effectively, then, like I bet he'll want a shot, he'll want a shot at it. So,
Right. Yeah. It's again, it's that competition thing. It's just like this is good. This is good. This is really good to have such dense talent at kind of one position. Um, so I don't know. Again, like you're totally right. Like for Davis to do that, to do anything that I said, a lot of things would have to go right for him. He'd have to be playing on an insane level. But I just think that again, I'm not putting money on anything, but it's just like I would not be like, wow, that's crazy. Like would have never thought that. I would have been like, hey, like best case scenario happened, and it was a very like I guess that's all you have to say about that because again, it is a lot of things. You're basically trying to overrun two of the biggest acquisitions over the offseason.